Hey, me and Matt here, and I'm Killer Kyle. Welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. Killer Kyle, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. And it's gonna be another double episode. So that's gonna be super fun. Right now, we will talk about Impact Wrestling, and we've got Sacrifice.
Yeah. It's looking like it'll be a good show.
Yeah, for sure.
The go-home show, if you will. Last night wasn't too bad.
Oh, that's good. I missed it as always.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of it taped, and I never just... And it's not the excuse of too much wrestling, but I try, at least. It does look like a really good card, though.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely some interesting matches. Some, I think, really good matches. And, we'll see how she goes.
You got that. So we start off tonight, we've got the Jay White, the Switchblade.
Leader of the Bullet Club, Switchblade Jay White, yeah.
Versus Alex Shelley.
Yeah, I haven't seen Alex in months. At least 2 years or so.
Oh, I know.
I think the last time saw Alex was when the Motor City Machine Guns reunited and won the Impact Tag Championships.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure whether Alex has been wrestling abroad, so to speak, the independent scene, whatever. I haven't seen Alex on Impact, at least.
Right.
In, the better part of at least 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean, you got Chris Sabin doing the Summer Funhouse, or whatever the fuck it was called, last year, and I can't drink enough to forget about it, so... But yeah, this is gonna be a good match. Obviously, two guys, I mean, Alex Shelley was in Japan, just as well as Jay White, obviously, yes. So I mean... Two veterans in themselves, and it's gonna be a very good match, I guarantee you. So, I mean, honestly, the bigger guy that will come out of this, I'm sure, will be Jay White, because you got the Bullet Club in his corner.
Yeah, I could say that. With Alex Shelley having been doing his own thing, I guess, for the last 2+ years, and not really knowing what he's been up to. This is his first match since he left, you could say. Yeah, I could easily see it going Jay White's way.
There you go.
Maybe Shelley is behind the scenes with Impact. I don't know for sure, but maybe.
Yeah. And again, you know, not to lose focus, but you look at all the guys that went to NXT.
Yeah.
Sanjay Dutt, you know. What are those guys? Like, I don't... Well, there was a lot of cutbacks, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So, I have no idea what's going on with that. I mean, fuck. Steve Carino? Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. I'm really gonna enjoy this match. I can't wait to see who wins, and I won't change my answer, but it'll be interesting nonetheless.
The thing that's really interesting to me is you have everything going on with Fallen by Design, the Bullet Club, the Gorillas of Destiny, and how all that stuff went down just literally a month ago. with the last Impact Plus thing. And so to have Jay White go into this match with Alex Shelley is like, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of out of nowhere, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be a good match. It's just with the way everything that's going on with that storyline, if you will, to have Alex Shelley thrown in there with Jay White is kind of like, curious.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so now we go on to a match for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. You got the champions, the Inspiration, against the Influence.
Yeah. And it's interesting when you look at it too, because I'm watching NWA
Right.
Power when I was at my parents', and looking at Velvet Sky,
Right.
who does commentary, and then now you have Madison Rayne, who's still in Impact Wrestling. And so she teams up with Emma, or I'm sorry, Tennille Dashwood.
Right.
And you got Caleb Conley in their corner. Say that 5 times fast. But then, you know,
Yeah.
the Inspiration have been a very good Knockouts take team in, well, I mean, in a long time. You look at their time in WWE and it was good.
Yeah.
You know, there's no complaints in my opinion. But their time in Impact seems to be much better.
Yeah. And I had said this before, it seems to be that the Inspiration is a much more snooty, stuck-up, snobby version of the Iconics.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, that's kind of interesting as well. And I mean, when they first left WWE, I was like, I could easily see them go to AEW, because I mean, Shawn Spears and Cassie are going together.
Right.
However, you know, that doesn't mean too much. The fact that the Iconic, or yeah, I said that, the Inspiration are going together in the take team division, that's awesome. And so they're the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and let's see where that goes. I don't see them losing the titles
No.
that quick. So, yeah, it's gonna be the Inspiration for me.
Considering the fact that Tennille and Madison have had matches few and far between over the last year or so, year or 2 years. I mean, they're good, but like, nothing really has stood out as like, oh yeah, I want to see them as, you know, tag team champions or champions in general. Not taking anything from either Madison or Tennille. They're both fucking fantastic competitors and wrestlers. And they can, you know, they're really good at like being the antagonists and, you know, making you dislike them, hate them, whatever. But it's not enough. Like, nothing missing. It's just they need more matches and get on a roll before even getting anywhere close to those tag team titles, in my opinion.
And I said this in a recent video that we did for Wheels of Fury. It was like, let's throw shit together and see if it sticks. Because when you look at Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, yeah, they're kind of similar, but not really. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, Madison was in A Beautiful People,
Right.
and that was cool. They got Steel Dashwood with this model gimmick with Caleb Conley. And that's cool, you know. So yeah, maybe it does work.
Right.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm taking the influence as well.
Awesome.
Or inspiration, not influence.
Yeah.
In whatever the fuck.
Exactly. So now we got the X Division Championship. We've got Trey Miguel versus Jake something.
Yeah. You know, with Jake something actually being on a fairly good roll, having a fairly good run in one-on-one on his own, he's had really good matches, and I think he could be a viable threat to the X Division Championship. Not necessarily Trey Miguel, but at least the X Division Championship itself.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really good match with Trey and Jake. Can Jake become champion? Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that. Will he? Remains to be seen, in my opinion.
He's been in the company now for a long time, roughly. And I mean, yeah, he's a good wrestler. I mean, you thought him and Cody Deaner were gonna do something great. And it just didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
So for Jake to go for the X Division Championship is probably a good thing. I don't really fucking know.
Right.
And Trey Miguel, as the X Division Champion, has been really good.
Oh, yeah.
And he's had some really good matches. So I honestly want to see Jake something as a champion, but at the same time, I don't see Trey Miguel losing.
Yeah. I mean, could Jake be a good champion? Yeah. Would he be a great champion? Yes. It's like I said, is he going to win? That remains to be seen. Jake has done very well on his own. He's, big, strong, hoss, as Matt would put it, and speak very well.
Yeah.
Is he ready for the championship? Probably. We'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now we're on to a match for, I believe this is for the Impact Tag Team titles. You got the Good Brothers against Violent by Design.
Oh, shit. So, okay, you have these two really good tag teams, and I mean Luke Gallows, or Doc Gallows, whatever the fuck you want to call him, Matt, and you have fucking Carl Machine Gun Anderson. These guys wrestled in New Japan. I don't know if that is Stand Ring of Honor. Whatever. They go to WWE, that was a good call. They did have a good run there.
Yeah.
And now they're on Impact. And they kick major fucking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're part of the Bullet Club.
Yes.
Which, obviously, if you know your history, they were the OG Bullet Club in New Japan. So, that's pretty cool in itself. Now, you've got Violent by Design, and, we talked about Eric Young last week, and he's one of the best wrestlers that, unfortunately, although had a great run in NXT, was fucked over by WWE, SmackDown, or wherever he fucking ended up. Which is too bad.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got Joe Doring, who's basically a younger version of Stan Hansen.
Basically.
So, I mean, all these guys in the same ring, and you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard to pick a winner. But obviously, it's gonna be a really good match.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, when you had Big Gallows and Joe Doring one-on-one, that was an insane match. So, that combined with, Carl Anderson and probably Eric Young, those two will, bring it. And, definitely two big hosses like Gallows and Doring are going to bring it. This would be a very good match. I'm interested in whether or not Violent by Design will and should have the tag team championships again. I mean, Gallows and Anderson, we all know what they are capable of as a tag team and as tag team champions. They haven't really been defending the titles all that much. That being said, I mean, you got two really good teams
Yeah.
that have done very well. So it'll be interesting to see if Violent by Design gets the tag titles back, which I don't see a problem with at all. I mean, Good Brothers taking the titles wouldn't be necessarily a problem either, so it's like, whatever happens, be really good either way.
Yeah, I think so. And like I said, you got two good teams, so I mean, it's just really up in the air.
Yeah.
But, again, Eric Young being the veteran in Impact Wrestling. You got Joe Doring, I'm not sure where he was before that. And then you have the New Japan Originals that had a lot of good tag team titles in their run.
Yeah.
So, there it is.
I know they had talked a lot about Joe wrestling in Japan,
Right?
but then I don't know if he went straight from Japan to Impact or whether he did some other things prior to going to Impact.
Cool. So, we have this match. We've got Eddie Edwards versus Rhino.
Yeah.
Now,
The
yeah.
turncoat, so to speak, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, I said this to Kyle when it happened. It made a lot of sense, in my opinion. I
Right.
mean, Eddie Edwards was in Ring of Honor with Davey Richards.
Yeah.
They were the American Wolves. I know he went to Japan while Davey was still in Ring of Honor,
Right.
which was the point where I started watching Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So they got back together, obviously did a shit match in NXT, went back to Impact. They wrestled at Impact first, they went to the okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So then there's that. Davey Richards left, now he's wrestling elsewhere, and Eddie remained on Impact. So, yes, he did have a lot of great matches, and yes, he did have a lot of championships, but he was always a Ring of Honor guy, no matter how you look at it. So, I mean, when Honor No More comes to Impact Wrestling, it makes sense for one of their guys without a wrestling for Impact Wrestling. I have a brain fart. Decide that they're going to join their team.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. Now the thing with Alicia Edwards, I'm not sure where that went because I didn't see the recent episode of Impact. So
Well, yeah, last week's episode. Basically, it was Eddie was explaining why he, turned on the team at the previous show. pay-per-view, if you want to call it that. And he was like, you know, I'm an Impact guy. I've always been an Impact guy. I will always be an Impact guy. I love Impact Wrestling. It was always Impact Wrestling. We never had any outsiders. It was, Impact through and through. Even though you go back to the early days of Impact when you got, competitors from New Japan and Mexico and shit like that. Anyways, and then all of a sudden you got AEW coming in, and Ring of Honor coming in. You got Kenny Omega winning the title, and Washington guys like Moose and Sammy Callahan and Rich Swann all try and get the championship back and failing. And he knew he could do it. He wanted to do it. He wanted to represent Impact and be the one to bring the title back home, and he just wasn't given the opportunity. And here comes Honor No More talking about how there is no honor and Impact, whatever, and Eddie agreed with everything that they were saying, and that's why he, decided to join Honor No More. And Alessa was like, what are you doing? You're an Impact guy. Why are you doing this? And it's like, yeah, I am, and I always will be, but, I just never got the opportunity that I feel I rightfully deserved at the Impact World Championship. So, I mean, Eddie feeling that he was smited and, just cast aside as, getting an opportunity for the championship, could understand his frustration. And then to take it to a level of joining Honor No More is like, okay, makes it interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and again, just like any other faction, we'll see how long it lasts. Because, I mean, once Ring of Honor actually starts coming back, if they come back, then I don't know. Are they gonna go back to Ring of Honor? I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They probably will. And there'll probably be a storyline somewhere that, okay, you lose this match, you leave Impact for good, and you're not allowed to come back, or whatever. We'll have to wait and see how the storyline goes, what have you. So,
yeah, I mean, will Kenny be used by Eddie Edwards, or will Rhino pull out a God? Honestly, I think that if Eddie wins, it'll be from the help of Honor No More. I mean, Rhino has, Heath and a lot of, who knows what's going to happen. So, just like the last match, it's going to be up in the air.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it should be a really good match. As far as who's going to win, not sure, honestly.
right.
This should be a very good match. Two big, strong, animalistic dudes, if you will. You got Jonah one-on-one with PCO.
Yeah, I mean, there's another one. Since Jonah left NXT, it just seems like, he had some good matches in Japan. Especially with Buddy Matthews. And then, going into Impact Wrestling. That's very cool. And he's fucking dominant.
Yep.
It was like his idol is Bam Bam Bigelow, and you're like, holy shit, he's like an Australian Bam Bam Bigelow.
Essentially.
So there's that. Then, you know, you got PCO, a guy who basically was a part of the Quebecers in the 90s with Jacques Rougeau.
Yeah.
You know, then he becomes Jean-Pierre Lafitte,
Right.
and does some other stuff here and there. And then, of course, going into Ring of Honor as this PCO character guy,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. And so, again, I don't want to be lazy and say it's hard to pick a winner for that match. So I'm going to say, look, we'll have to pick Jonah. I mean, Jonah's been unstoppable, in my opinion, since, again, I mean, he was great in NXT as well, but
Yeah.
he's honestly been unstoppable ever since he's gone to other promotions.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it will take to put PCO down and keep him down. And, you know, Jonah beat PCO.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when Jonah hits that tsunami, it's one and done, wham bam, thank you ma'am, hit the showers.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it was just yesterday, Jonah had a match with somebody, beat them, PCO came out, they got into it, Jonah hit the splash on PCO, PCO's laying there, said, well, alright, it'll be a squash match, and then all of a sudden, PCO rises from the dead like he's fucking Undertaker, and is squaring off, you know, wanting Jonah to, you know, kind of throws Jonah, or clotheslines him over the top rope, and Jonah's gonna try and get back in the ring, and PCO's like, come on. It's like, okay, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hot fight for sure.
You tell me you're a vegan, I smell meat on your breath.
Now we have this match, we have a tag team match player.
Yep.
Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus the OG Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
Yeah.
And again, two other guys from Honor No More. And I mean, when Mike Bennett came back to Ring of Honor, I mean, how fucking cool is that? And I
Oh
said
yeah.
in Final Battle, I believe it was Final Battle 19. And I said to Kyle, it would be very cool, because at the time Adam Cole was in NXT,
Yes.
if he jumped ship, went back to Ring of Honor, and the original Kingdom was back together.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Adam Cole is gonna be wrestling for the AEW Championship on Sunday,
Yeah.
so that's, you know, it is what it is.
Yes.
And I mean, these two guys have been in the same, like, stable pretty much for 10 years.
Both are, yeah.
Maybe even more, but that's when I started watching it, so 10 years ago. And so it's like, they're a good tag team, and you know, I think that, and I can't remember, I don't think they ever got the Ring of Honor tag team titles. But it's gonna be fun to watch this match. I mean, Willie Mack and Rich Swann, again, they've been wrestling together for a very long time as well
Yeah.
in Impact. So, for my money, obviously, I'm gonna pick the originals. You know, the Impact originals. I mean,
Yeah.
Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Smack as well. Swan and Mack.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a good match, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, there is going to be a rematch for the Knockouts World Title. Mickie James against Tasha Steelz.
Yeah. And, I'm gonna say this again. Since Fire and Flavor departed, Tasha Steelz, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have her with Savannah, was that her name?
Savannah Evans.
So you have her with her. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Mickie James has a stellar wrestling career. She's been with Ring of Honor, WWE, Impact, NWA.
Yep.
There's gotta be other shit she's been in, right? So, I mean, for her as the Knockouts champion, I think that's fucking cool.
Yes.
I think that she's great, and honestly, I don't see Tasha winning.
Unfortunately, no.
So yeah, I think Hardcore Country is going to do the chick kick or whatever she calls it now, and yeah.
Yep. Still your Knockouts World Title World Champion. Hardcore Country, Mickie James.
So we have the main event, the Impact Championship. We've got Moose versus Heath.
Yeah. Heath being the one that is like, oh, I'm gonna, not only stand up for Impact Wrestling, I'm gonna stand up to Moose, and I'm gonna be the one to take the world title from him, was like, okay, it's interesting that he's, been put in the world title picture. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Heath ain't winning.
Yeah, I'm afraid not. I'd like to. I mean, it would be interesting to see if that happens, but I agree with Kyle. Moose is that powerful, and I can honestly see him eliminate Heath, and it's gonna happen whether they'll like it or not. Unfortunately, I mean, again, Heath is one of those guys that you wish they would put a title on.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's only got Tag Team Championship gold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to pick Moose on this one.
Yep.
So, again, it's going to be a really good show. And I think that, we're going to see what happens tomorrow night.
Yes.
And, again, hopefully we predicted right. And, it's just one of those things where it's a wait and see.
Yeah.
A lot of it's kind of just, who knows who's going to win, honestly.
Yeah.
But we will be doing a play-by-play,
Yes.
so look forward to that. And, yeah. Next, we're going to be doing AEW Revolution.
Yep.
So, for me, Matt, this is Killer Kyle. We will talk to you in a bit. Deuces.
See you.